Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are working on a Nissan X-trail 2008 2-liter diesel, and is a candidate. It's one of those candidates that tick most of the boxes for me to say no. So a little bit of a story behind this car. So this car had a clutch replacement. And after the clutch replacement, the car started misfiring and loss of power, not driving properly. Now, it has been to quite a few garages trying to sort this problem out. Then it went to how can I call it? Someone that deleted the EGR valve, GPS being removed. And I can actually show you here on the live data that we don't have any what's the EGR? Oh, there you go, EGR 5% there. It doesn't actually move. And I was looking at the other figures, you know, like rail pressure, fuel rail pressure there is good, 326. About the same, so that's fine. The other thing that I was looking at, that injector number 4 figure kind of like looks different. Adjustment value there. Boost pressure seems to be seems to be working. Temperature, engine coolant temperature is good. Engine speed. Now, so yeah, so it's one of those candidates. Regarding fault codes, we have fault codes for nothing regarding this problem that we are having. The only fault codes that we have, I believe, is because the key. That's another thing. I think they said they tried to use the wrong key for the car, so you can actually remove the key. The car keeps running, so I think when that happens, it triggers those codes. Because it happened to me yesterday, and I couldn't understand why. So I took the key out and left the ignition running, not the engine on, but ignition running. So there's 2 faults there on the engine and 2 faults on the BCM, which is the same related to this immobilizer system. I think I triggered that yesterday. Let me show you that. So yeah, so see, it's passed. It's not present fault anymore. So yeah, a perfect candidate, at least for in my situation, when I see what people being mapping the car, messing around with the numbers, deleting things. I generally don't like to work in cars like this, and I say no, but this guy has helped me quite a few times, and then ended up in a garage where this guy helped me quite a few times, and he basically had to work for weeks now and had enough. Dumped the car here, so I'm gonna try my best. I'm going to try to find the problem, at least try the basics. When he dropped the car, the diesel filter was quite rusty, so I said, look, I want to change the fuel filter. So all I've done with this car so far, I changed the fuel filter. And what else did I do? Yeah, I basically changed the fuel filter. And one thing that I've noticed, because when he dropped the car, he was complaining about the car misfiring. And I'm going to show you now. It does misfire, so like a 3000 RPM. And I took the car for a drive. The car has no power. It seems like the turbo is not there. You know, it's not. Yeah, the turbo is not. It's not coming on. You know. And then when I stopped the car, turned the engine off, turned the engine on again, start the car, I've got turbo, right? So to me, it feels like that way. But I'm gonna put the engine on, and you can see it's not gonna misfiring right now. So now it's perfect, right? No problem whatsoever. Now I'm gonna wait here. You're gonna hear a moment where the tone, the engine tone changes. There we go, it just happened right now. I don't know, because I was talking over the microphone. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell the difference, but it's quite drony noise, you know. And I think that's the reason why they, you know, cut the DPF, took the DPF off, whatever. There you go, change it again. Now it should misfire. Generally at 3000, and it smokes like crazy. You can hear there. And the smoke, yeah, it's building up. I had to open the door there so I don't kill myself. So I'm going to do that again. Yeah, when the car you first start, absolutely fine. Let me open the other door because it smokes everywhere. Ah. Jeez. Right, so here in the engine bay you can see a brand new man filter there. And remember what else I've done with this car. I knew I've done two things with this car. The battery terminals were extremely loose, especially the ground here, that it wasn't pushed in all the way down. So now it's nice and firm, so we can carry on. Let's start the engine again. Let's see what happens here. All right, where's the key? Keys up here. Right, started. There you go. Now nothing. I'm gonna wait for that engine tone to change. There you go, just changed. Still not making a noise. Well, still not misfiring, but I did hear the tone of the engine changing. Let me monitor that intercooler pipe. No turbo now. Smoke again. Yeah, I can definitely tell by the intercooler pipe the turbo at this point is not working. Right, let me put the engine on again. I want to monitor the turbo actuation. Whoa! There we go. We lost vacuum there. So yeah, we should not have turbo now, but I'm glad I caught that. At this point we have no vacuum for the turbo, so we shouldn't have any actuation. Yeah. So we don't have vacuum control at the minute. Alright, so we're definitely losing vacuum for our turbo control there. Now we have our turbo solenoid here, vacuum solenoid, and this one goes to the turbo. So now we need to check if the valve is faulty, if we have any problem with the diaphragm or on the turbo there, and or if we have a problem with control. Right, a pretty quick test here. I'm just gonna. So this hose goes to the wastegate and the turbo. I just want to just use my vacuum pump here. See if we get any actuation. Need to get the lights on. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna apply vacuum here. Oh yeah, I can see the wastegate rod going up. If I release, it goes back, and it's holding as well, so the diaphragm is okay. Yeah, it's holding steady there. This is not a very good vacuum pump, but as you can see that it's holding. Then when release it, it goes back down, so no problem there. Right, so carry on. I had to stop to do an MOT pre-inspection. Got the wire diagrams. I can't show the wire diagrams, but basically our turbo vacuum solenoid there, 2 wires, so green, it comes from a relay, and it's fused, terminal 15, so ignition voltage. Then terminal 2, you have a connector there in between these two and the solenoid, C05HL, which apparently is going to be on the left here somewhere. Then goes to B57, 48 plane on the ECU. So that's our control. So we have power there, and our control ground at B57. And the other connector is a 16 pin. So anyway, I've got set up here. I've got a vacuum gauge teed up with our turbo wastegate. So I'm gonna leave it up there for us to get a visual to see what's going on. If you have a problem with the control ground from the ECU or the solenoid is failing. So got the test lights to the green wire, which is positive, and then our control ground, which is the blue. I'm using the multimeter here. And I leave the multimeter up there. Start the car, so that's gonna load our battery voltage there. So the test light will be our load for the positive side, and then we got the multimeter. So let's go and start the engine and see exactly what's going on. I mean, gonna have a good visual there. I started. Right, full vacuum. 13 volts pretty much, full vacuum. And at this point it's working perfectly. I can, what's happening with the test light? Yeah, test light is lighting up as well. Let me go and start the car, let's accelerate the car. I hope I can see it from here. Yeah, it's operating fine at the minute. 13 volts, we've got good vacuum. Oh, can hear the noise, the engine noise changing a little bit now. At this point, absolutely perfect. Is it not going to play up now? Well, we fixed the engine. We fixed the car. Absolutely perfect. Have we disturbed something? I wonder. Wow. Let me turn the engine off. But at this point we shouldn't have any misfiring. Absolutely perfect. Well, at least we know we're heading in the right direction. Let me turn the car off. There you go. Absolutely perfect. Down to, yeah, no ground, no vacuum. Let's start the engine again. Let's see what happens. There you go, full vacuum again. I find it hard to believe that we disturbed something because, well, don't know. Honestly, I don't know. You can still see the test lights there. It's all hunky-dory. I'm gonna let the car sit for a minute. I don't know exactly what's going on, but at this moment everything's perfect. Our control ground is working absolutely perfect. Maybe the solenoid's sticking, I don't know. It shouldn't really. No, it can't be. Can't be. Right, I think I'm gonna let the car sit, see if we can replicate or not. But at this point, everything working absolutely perfect. How annoying. Right, so it has been at least half an hour. I haven't disturbed anything, I haven't touched anything. The only thing I've got to do is restart the multimeter here. Oh, I pressed the wrong one. There you go. There. Right, let's try this time. Let's see what happens. There you go, everything normal again, full vacuum, 13 volts, 1299. Test lights on. Oh, there we go. Still 20 inches per mercury there. There you go, now we're lost completely. There you go, so exactly that. I haven't touched anything, but for some reason, stopping the engine and let it rest for some reason made it go away. There you go, full vacuum again. Engine sounds good. So we are losing control there, so that's the ECU doing it. Now it's good, test lights is good. I've no smoke, I've got the doors closed, should open it really. Now it's all hunky-dory. Well, I can hear the engine tone changing. It doesn't want to play up again. turbo's working. How weird. Oh, there you go. Let's see if we're gonna lose it completely. So you see the gauge there, the vacuum gauge just changing. Oh, it's gone up again. Oh, lost it. Now, basically 0 volts now. So now we don't have any turbo. We're gonna get the guys covered in smoke. Right, so good that we could replicate. So we're not losing, you know, positive voltage there, battery voltage. The control ground, yeah, we're losing control ground. So the question now is it an ECU issue or wiring? I think what I'm going to do next, I'm just gonna do a resistance check on the wiring just to see if we find anything wrong. Maybe, yeah, like with the Mercedes, just see if anything shorted with another wiring. I mean, you know, everything started with the clutch change. Did they route the cable in the wrong way, or something's gone wrong, or I don't know. But I think that's what I'm gonna check next, just resistance on that ground control, and see if we find anything. But at least we could see, I'm glad that we could see that. But the strange thing is, it's not happening. For me, it was happening all the time. Now, doing this test and visualizing, you know, sometimes you can hear the engine pitch changing, but it still have 20 inches of mercury there, which is not the full vacuum. But, and then kind of like oscillates, and then you lose vacuum completely. But anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do next. Check the ground control. So I'm going to remove the ground from the battery. There. I'm going to get all these wires out the way, really. Now, we have 3 plugs here for the ECU. The ones that we need is 48 pin. This one has, so this one has 40 pins, so it's not going to be that one. Second one, brown. I move this light out of the way. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 12, 24, 48. Right, let's have a pokey. Our blue wire. Let's see what we can find. So it says on the wire diagram B57. B57. I can see some letters there on a plug. That doesn't make sense. It has 48 pins. It starts at 1A, B, C. I'm just gonna try them all, and then we can check for any short as well, because that should be a straight connection to the ECU. Alright, so we've got 2 connections there. Perhaps that is ground. Don't know if I'm getting some internal ground from the from the ECU. I mean, I've still got one, yeah, I'm sure it will be. I still have one plug going to the, right, let's see, so that's the third one. Right, so we have the third pin here, which is, it's hard to see, C. It's weird how this plug is marked, but anyway, found one there which is 0 resistance, and those ones is about 10 ohms. But let me remove this last plug, because then we don't have any connection with this ECU. Right. See any more? No, I don't think so. Well, we still have, I mean, that's wrong, isn't it? So there's 4 plugs there, there are 4 pins there that we still have, well, basically shorted. And if we follow the wire diagrams, that shouldn't be the case. So let me show you here. Let me remove this focus locked. So I hope you guys can see that. So that those 4 pins here, which is generally power or ground. Those 4 pins, you have about 10 and 15 ohms. And then this third one here, so 0 ohms there. And then I don't seem to have any other connection. I went through every single one. That's a bit weird. Obviously have all the connectors unplugged from the ECU, and in theory we shouldn't be, well, if it's a wire goes from the solenoid, vacuum solenoid, and it is disconnected. Oh no, it's still connected actually. Disconnect that. Oh yeah. So basically, yeah, that was my bad. So the other one is connected, it was connected to positive. So that one. Yeah, don't seem to have any short anywhere, at least at the moment. Right guys, so next day, so far we know for sure that we're losing the control ground to the vacuum solenoid. Don't have any short anywhere. Solenoid 18 ohms of resistance, I think is about right. Now we need to, to work out why the ECU is not controlling that vacuum solenoid. Maybe it sees something wrong and then putting to limping mode, trying to protect the engine. Now what I'm decided to do, I'm gonna have to look into these figures, and I'm going to clear the faults because I know this MU key here, the chain MU key, is regarding or related to the key when I removed the key and left the ignition on. Now I want to see if this P0606 is related to the issue that we're having, ECM. So I'm going to quick erase the faults. I've got the gauge there so I can see when the car obviously loses vacuum, or the turbo loses vacuum and we lose control. So there you go, no faults. Let's start the car and see if we trigger the P0606. Right, again, 40 inches of mercury there, everything's hunky-dory. Oh, stumbling. Yeah, that's not full vacuum there now. Oh, there you go, lost it. Right, I pull this car out. I'm gonna have to work on another car now, but I want to see on the live data. At this point right now, I mean, obviously we don't have any vacuum, so should trigger fault. The problem is, obviously, because this car is being messed about, or I think is being messed about in a way that so that engine light doesn't come on. So that was part of the remapping. Let me scan the car again. Auto scan. No faults. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take the car for a drive now to see if I can trigger something. But I believe that the remapping, part of the remapping was to this obviously cover up faults, or at least so the engine light doesn't come on. So this is gonna be tricky. I spoke to the guy, said, look mate, I think we need to bring this car back to the normal mapping. Right guys, so it's been about 5 days now. I spoke to my friend that brought the car. All the tests that we've done, obviously we pinpointed our issue, obviously the actuation of the turbo there. And I look at some figures on the hotel, and with the car cold, I've got like an oxygen sensor already show me like nearly 600 degrees. At one point I just started the car, 700 degrees. And I talked to him, I said, look, I can't really go by all these numbers because whatever was done to this computer, unless you bring all the, take all the custom modification that was done to the ECU back to the original, I'm not going to be able to rely on those numbers. So we come to the conclusion. He said, okay, so do you think it could be a problem with the vacuum solenoid there? I said, it could be. It could be that the ECU is controlling the solenoid because it sees something wrong with the car elsewhere, or maybe the solenoid resistance is not right and it can see that and also disable it. So he said, okay, I'm gonna order one and we can set it back if it's not the problem. At least we can check, obviously, I've got it here actually. At least we can check resistance, and so that's what I'm going to do next and see what happens. Right, there's a annoying fly going around. I hope I hope you guys can't hear that. But anyway, right, so what we have, well, a slightly different resistance there, a little bit higher resistance than the other one, 19.5. I believe the other one was 18. So it's slightly different, but yeah, let's go ahead. We got it now. Let's go ahead and I don't know if something is happening to the solenoid while the car obviously is running, let's say, but there you go. Still gonna have my vacuum gauge attached to it so we can monitor it. The car is dead cold. I haven't started today. There's another difference. There's something here around the top. I don't know if you can see. There's another rubber at the top. I don't think should influence anything. I'm gonna leave it there. Let's connect it up. All right, let's start the engine. Let's see what our gauge does. All right, start it up. Whoa, straight up to 50. Nice. All right, so basically we're gonna let the car run 10-15 minutes. Sometimes for a good 5 minutes it would operate properly, but very rarely. So I'm gonna let the car run for 10-15 minutes or maybe more, stop and start again to see if there's any difference. But so far sounds good, and seems to be operating fine. Another thing, that needle doesn't seem to be oscillating like before. I think before never used to get that steady. Super steady. Let me accelerate the engine, see what happens. Should have turbo now. Hope you guys can see everything. Yeah, it's operating fine. Beautiful. Right, so it's 6:42 on that clock there. It's not really 6:42, but let's go by that. I think it's actually 14:05. There we go, 14:05 now. I'm gonna let the car stand here on for 15-20 minutes, see if that is gonna change at all, but seems to be different. Seems to be working better than before. I like also the needle is not oscillating like before. But yeah, let's wait. So 14:05, 14:06 there. Let's wait another 20 minutes or so. Right, it's not 20 minutes yet, guys, but